Hello, everyone. Just hang tight. Our chair person, Ms. Escobar, is having some internet issues and will be joining shortly.
Hey. Hey everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, great. I apologies. I'm having internet issues. Apparently, I just got a text message saying that I'm experiencing an outage. So apologies. So I'm calling in. If for some reason you guys can't hear me, please, Christina, just text me.
Okay, we'll do. And we have Board Member Walker on the line, as well as the staff and community partners.
Great, thank you for the heads up. Did you get any word from Board Member Brody or any other board members?
Not yet. No, I have asked.
Okay. Out of respect for everyone's time, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. And Christina, if you can stop us at any point and let us know when board members join, since I can't see the screen. That being said, welcome everyone to the Family Community Engagement Committee. I hope everyone is staying cool. One of the things that I wanted to start off by saying is we're gonna have to end the meeting a little bit early today. I have a family matter to attend to at about 5:05. So again, my apologies. This will not happen again. All other future meetings will not end early unless there's an emergency or something is going on. So with that being said, I just want to jump right in. Starting next month, we'll go back to doing icebreakers, getting to know each other a little bit more, as well as inviting additional CBOs to come and present. I will follow up with my board members, my colleagues, and giving them some more information about that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started with presentations. Chief Blackberg, I'm assuming you're on the line. I'm going to pass it along to you and your staff to get us started with the presentation. And real quick, I'm going to my colleagues, let's hold off on question until the presentation is over.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. And I will go ahead and jump right in and begin with our community schools continuation contracts. So the community school strategy, it is a pillar of priority 3. And through the community schools framework, we implement extended learning opportunities, weekend before and after school, interventions during the school day, and we work with community agencies like Active City, Blue Hills, the Boys and Girls Club, Career Resources, Catholic Charities, and the Village to bring that work about. Those agencies, I think it's really important to share that they coordinate and maximize public and private resources to assist in delivering those critical services to our students and our families. Understanding that all of our schools are community schools, I think it is important to say here today that we understand that ESSER dollars would be going away at the end of this school year. However, these agencies, I'm sure they'll continue to find different ways to continue to work with the district, and I'm sure the district will continue to work with them, but want to make sure that we are clear that this is funded through ESSER dollars. So I'll jump into the presentation. And so I already shared with you who the applicants are as they're listed here. And you can move to the next slide, Christina. And this is just a summary of each of the applications, wanting to share the number of students that are being proposed that the agencies will work with, as well as a brief summary. So sorry, we need to go off camera for a moment. A brief summary of the services that they would look to deliver and the schools that they will be delivering those services. We also provided for the board, just as backdrop, a report of the 22-23 school year and what the community school agencies, the partners, were able to deliver. So wanted to just call your attention to that. That does inform what they were able to do with the money and how they rolled up those services throughout the school year. Thank you, Christina. I see that you moved to the next slide, so thank you for that. And so that's just a continuation of the summary for the agencies and the schools that they will serve. All right, this next slide is about the proposed funding for our agencies and the schools that they serve. So I think it's also important to share here that our agencies are looking at a reduction of 25%. So the amount that they received last year would be different this year. They would only be receiving 75% of that. That was communicated to agencies, so they are aware of that as well. And you will see the funding that Hartford Public Schools is proposing to provide to each of the agencies. But the graphic on the right, again, just want to reiterate that this is done with other funding being braided in. So the funding that they receive from Hartford Public Schools is not their sole source, but it is used to assist in the work that they are doing in our schools and within the community. And so that graphic just shows that, you know, of course, we could be considered state funding because we are a education agency, Hartford Public Schools, but then there's federal dollars that might be lifted, as well as other nonprofit dollars, as well as private donations to assist with the community school work. And so wanted to just share some of the outcome requirements for the 23-24 school year. So we are asking all of our agencies that they would meet 100% of their enrolled contracted slots. So the enrollment of those contracted slots. So Christina, if you go back to, I want to say it was slide 3. Thank you. So up at the top, it says active city, proposed number of students is 90. So Ms. Hooker and the team in our office will be working to ensure that all 90 of those contracted seats are filled. So that is one of the outcomes that we are looking to work very closely with all the agencies on, is that 100% of enrollment of all contracted slots. 75% student attendance and participation in school and out of school and extended day program and activities. This is something that our agencies, they're able to do and continue to do. So we will continue to work with them to ensure that they are meeting that 75% student attendance, as well as 60% of active parental involvement in school and program activities. And then 60% engaged students demonstrate social emotional skills development via the school climate and culture surveys, as well as other surveys that are given through the agency for their programs. So those are the 23-24 outcome requirements. So next steps for the community schools continuation process for our CBOs, just areas of continued development. Data analysis, we will continue to look at data analysis, outcome-based reporting. We'll continue with our training. We have implemented reporting twice a year. As you will see in the report that was shared, we do compile a end of year report, but we will also have a mid-year report, enhanced communication, continuing to share whatever we are getting from our stakeholders. That includes families as well as students and some teachers, and just timely and meaningful communication between the agencies as well as our office, and then continuing to develop our learning community, i.e. the Hartford Community Schools Network. So those are our next steps for 23-24. So I'll pause there. That's just really the continuation application for community schools. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Thank you, Chief Blackburn. This is Jahira, Chair Jahira. Again, so I just want to reiterate to my colleagues, reminder to keep the questions focused on the presentation. Any finance question, please leave that for the Finance Committee. Christina, I'm going to look to you since I can't see who's there. Did any other of our colleagues join us besides Board Member Walker?
Do not see any, no.
Okay, so I'm going to open it up. Oh, I'm sorry, Chief Blackburn.
No, that was me. I was just going to say that Mr. Walker does have his hand raised for a question.
Good. Thank you, Christina. Board Member Walker, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Escribano. One is a comment to Chief Blackburn. Yeah, I appreciate the presentation of the outcomes, very nicely laid out, and I think that the CBOs as well. I think the plan is you're going to schedule 1 or 2 visits. Was it by yourself or by the providers to give a scorecard or to give a scorecard to you? How is that going to work?
Thank you. So we do have site visits that happen during the school year. And from that site visit, we have a tool that's utilized. Information that's captured during that site visit is rolled up, and then it is shared with the agency, the principal, as well as a copy stays in our office. But there's discussion. So if there are, areas of opportunities, if there are great glows that we want to share across the entire network, not just within that particular agency, we'll do that during our partner meeting or a network meeting. So that does take place. So we have the reporting as well as the site visits.
Thank you, Chief Blackburn. Mr. Walker, do you have any additional questions or follow-up?
No, thank you for that. I would ask, this is more, I would just say for me, it would be nice to just for me to see that, or maybe just the board member to see that really more to understand your process and to get a flavor of the level of oversight that you are providing. And so I think that's, I like the plan that you have. And so seeing that would be just be appreciated.
And, sorry, Madam Chair.
No, that's okay, Chief Blackburn. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. And, trying to be expedient did not really kind of dial all the way back to highlight that, yes, that is a process that we've had in place for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And we find that the site visit process, where there's an actual tool that is aligned to community school standards and pillars, we find that to be very, very useful. but I'll make a note for myself that that is mentioned each and every time so that board members continue to know that that is a part of our formalized process. So thank you for the question. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And it's just because I realized part of this is kind of to educate us. So might as well just, if not part of presentation, it can be an addendum that you don't have to present it, but just, have it accessible to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Walker. Christina, I'm looking to you again. Is there any additional board members that joined us? I'm going to keep routinely asking you that since I can't see who's online.
No worries at all. And no, I do not see any other board members on the call.
Great, thank you for that. I do not have any questions. Any questions that I do have, I will be following up with Christina and Chief Blackburg, and I just want to reiterate to my one colleague that's on the line, but everybody else who's viewing this video, at any point, any additional questions or concerns come up, at any point, please reach out to Christina, who will be sure to get the answers we need to your questions or concerns. I also want to reiterate to my colleagues that I will be reaching out to our committee members here with some additional requests and information that I've been speaking with Chief Blackburg about that I want to start seeing in this committee. So more to come on that, I promise, in the coming weeks. And I just want to thank again Chief Blackburg and her team for being very helpful and in this entire process and every questions that we have. So with that being said, I don't have any questions. Mr. Walker, if you don't have any additional questions, I'd like to move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Great, thank you. Chief Blackburg?
And I believe, well, real quick, partners, thank you for joining. I think you can hop off the call and enjoy the hot day.
To jump off. Yeah. Stay cool. Thank you to every CBO that's online. Apologies that I cannot recognize you personally right now, but just know that we thank you for all of your hard work, and please stay cool.
And thank you again. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I know you can't see, so next on the agenda, we do have a Office of Operations update, which encompasses a lot of areas, and we have this, I do see Chief Davis Cooge on the call.
Yep, I'm here. I'm sorry. Yes.
I think we're all having issues. Hopefully I'm not the only one who's having internet and just technology issues.
Yeah. Well, you're not today. I'm with you. So hello everyone. I'm sorry I'm unable to share video, but happy to be here with you today. Just wanted to provide a brief update on our start of school. Actually, I'm going to double back to our busy summer where we've done plenty of family engagement, as well as prepping our schools for the start of the school year and getting our bus routes ready to go. So here with me today is Kayla Pallas. She's our Assistant Director in the Office of Enrollment and School Choice, and she's going to give a brief update on our summer happenings and registrations and such.
Thanks, Chief Davis Cooge. Glad to be with you all this afternoon. So just to give an update in terms of the Office of Enrollment and School Choice, as I think most folks know, this summer is definitely a busy season for us in terms of registrations. So from the month of July to date, so through September 7th, we registered 1,305 students who were either new or returning back to Hartford Public Schools. And just for comparison's sake, in the same timeline or snapshot from last year, we registered 1,244 students within the same time period. So that's an increase or growth of 61 students in terms of new and returning to the district registrations across the summer months. And then in terms of the Regional School Choice Office, I think as you all know as well, we work with them in terms of our Hartford Magnet School and Hartford Open Choice placements. And so in terms of those placement offers, we are winding down for the current 23-24 school year. So in total to date, there have been 9 magnet placement rounds. The 10th and most current placement round actually just went live to families today. And they have until Sunday, September 10th at midnight to respond to that placement offer. And then immediately following that, we'll be conducting the 11th and final placement round for magnet schools, which will go out to families next Wednesday, September 12th. In terms of open choice offers and open choice rounds, a similar schedule has happened. So there have been 9 open choice rounds for the 23-24 school year to date. The 10th round will go out to families on September 14th, so also next week. And after that time, there will be 2 additional rounds for a total of 12 open choice placement rounds for the 23-24 school year. And that completes our update from the Office of Enrollment and School Choice.
Thank you for that update. Before I open it up to my colleagues, I just want to make sure, Chief Davis Coolidge, if you have anything else to add to the report before I open it up.
Yeah, I also just wanted to give a quick count of where we are with our transportation buses. We are currently running 56 regular education buses and 165 door-to-door buses for the start of the school year. We know that September is the month where we kind of calibrate our routes and number of buses, but I just wanted to share that that's where we are at this moment. Also wanted to just share that in the probably early October, we'll be launching our new parent app, which will allow for parents to kind of track the bus through this app that we would be sharing with the families. So I think that is great information. That app will also allow us to get the metrics that we talked about needed, like on-time buses. We would be able to collect that information from this app as well. So we're excited for that. So more to come on that. School, in terms of our facility buildings, we opened up. This new heat wave this week came at us as a surprise. We had some hiccups in our AC systems, but the facilities teams were right on it and got the systems back up and running. So overall, a great start to the school year. And that completes my report. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, especially about that app. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to open it up to my colleagues. I just received a message that Ms. Brody joined us. Welcome, Ms. Brody. I hope you're staying cool. Were you able to did you capture, did you listen to what Chief Davis Gooch said?
Yes, I have my hand raised. Hello, everyone. I have a question, couple questions.
Great, awesome. Yeah, the floor is all yours. And thank you for letting me know your hand is up since I can't see via video. So it's all yours, Ms. Brody.
Thank you. So this is because a parent app. So we didn't actually go with the well, let me back up. So we were supposed to have a parent app last school year. Am I correct? And we didn't go through with it or had some.
Oh, no. So during COVID, so we had a parent app, right? That was up and running. And then COVID, because of the number of buses where we were changing the routes basically weekly, it was hard to manage, ensuring that like the bus number was 23 this week, but because we were consolidating routes and trying to mitigate costs at the same time, the bus number would change. So we kind of tabled that. It wasn't at an extra cost to us. It was a part of the transportation contract. Now what we've done is enhance that product, and we're going to release it again.
Okay, and can you just explain to us what buses are for what? Because it could be a magnet school, right? Could you explain what bus belonged to which company, and if it's suburban, how does a parent know the buses at a school, and how does that work? Because it could be not our bus. Sometimes I'm told it's a correct bus. How does that work?
Are we talking about in terms of the app or in general?
In general.
So in our magnet schools, suburban students coming into our magnet schools are transported by Resco Transportation. Students who live within Hartford are transported by Hartford Public Schools Transportation. So our buses are generally, the vendor is Autumn, and Craig, Resco, they may have multiple providers just due to number of students they're moving, and the number of districts. So schools know exactly which provider is serving which student. We definitely use Info Finder for Hartford, and there's also a separate login for the suburban buses. So schools have access to log into the systems and gain the information.
Okay, so
Thank you,
follow
Chief
up,
Davis.
does,
Ms. Brody?
I do
Nope.
have a follow up question on that same thing. So if I'm a parent and I'm vigilant and and I see something happen with a bus, when the first thing, the natural thing would be if you didn't catch the number on the bus, you're gonna call Hartford Public Schools Transportation. Do we have a streamlined way of identifying and getting the parent to say if it's a crack bus? Is there an easy process? Because you might not see the name of the bus, but you got a bus number.
Right, not a problem. Yep. So Bill Mason, our transportation director, works closely with Nakisha, and for some reason I can't think of Nakisha Strickland. Am I calling that right, Kayla?
Yes.
Yes. So they're in constant contact with each other. So if a family called and reached one of our transportation specialists and they actually are inquiring about a suburban bus, they provide the information, and we don't necessarily transfer because that may not give the parent the information that they need in case the call drops or something. So we actually give them the phone number and we share the information. When schools also have concerns with the suburban buses, the Office of Enrollment and School Choice, Carolyn Rossley and Kayla's team, we get reports directly from our magnet schools when there are ongoing issues with suburban buses that we also then share with Resco Transportation. So it goes both ways.
Thank you, Chief Davis Gooch. Ms. Brody, any additional questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brody, and thank you, Chief Davis Gooch. Mr. Walker, any questions?
Yes, thank you, Chair Escobar. Chief, about the app, I'm wondering about drop-off destinations. Do parents or others have the ability to enter like drop-off destinations for students or their student?
No, enter it? No. So the pickup and the drop-off of the student is based on the route, just based on the normal bus stop that's assigned to the student. What the parent will see is where the bus is on that particular route.
Okay, the reason I'm asking, because I remember last year there was a little bit of a couple situations where pickups in the morning weren't a problem, but it seemed like one occasion or two I've heard about a child being dropped off at a slightly different location. Maybe it's by design, or the parent has a miscue in terms of understanding where they're supposed to go to pick up their child in the afternoon. So would the app help kind of identify that so the parent can see exactly where the bus is anticipating that drop off to be, or they can see where the child got dropped off?
I don't know exactly how detailed. It's definitely not tracking the student, is following the bus.
The bus. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, and if Chair Escribano thinks it's a good idea, that when we're ready, I can have our director, Bill Mason, come in and do a quick presentation on it, and just to give an overview so everyone will get the gist of how it works.
Yeah.
That would be great, Chief Davis Gooch. Once you guys, I know you guys are launching it next month, so maybe when you guys have a couple of weeks under your belt, we can, I'm thinking maybe the November SCE meeting, that way you guys have enough data, also any feedback to provide as well.
Yeah.
So that would be great. Yes, thank you for that recommendation. That would be great. 100%. And can you repeat the date again that you guys are launching it, just for our viewing audience?
Yeah, I have here October, early October.
Early October. Okay. Great. So that information, I'm sure, will be disseminated across all the platform that HPS has to the parents and guardians of our students. So thank you again for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Mr. Walker, do you have any additional questions?
No, I think it's a good recommendation about getting a debrief and on it. So thank you.
Awesome, great. My question was going to be around us getting an update on how the app is working. Since we've already established that, we'll bring you guys back in November, so we're all set with that. I do not have any additional questions. Before we move on to our last topic items, I just want to give my colleagues one more opportunity if there are any additional questions for Chief Davis Googe. I'm assuming no by the
No, no additional questions.
Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. The last topic on our agenda is a summer program update of our CBOs. Chief Blackburn, I'm passing on to you.
Am I mistaken? Did Kayla Palace just do this? Just a point of
What's going on, Mr. Walker?
This is Chair Escobar. I just wanted to ask the question to the leadership team. Did Kayla Palace just talk about summer programs, or am I mistaken in what she presented?
Okay. Oh, Chair, may I?
Yes, please.
Kayla Palace is the Assistant Director in the Office of Enrollment and School Choice. So she presented the enrollment data around registrations and the lottery.
Okay.
So what we're going to be talking next is just a summer program update.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. My mistake.
No worries. Thank you. And thank you again for that clarification, Chief Davis Googe. So again, we're going to be discussing summer program updates from our CBOs from the various programmings that they had over the summer. So I'm going to pass it along to Chief Blackburn.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good evening again to everyone. You can move to the next slide, Christina. So wanted to just bring everyone back to this slide. We did share it in our April FCE committee meeting when we were presenting on format for our summer enrichment program for 2023. We also shared that we were looking for our partners to have 75% attendance in their enrichment programs, to ensure that 85% of our attendees completed the pre and post survey, and 50% or more would share that they have developed problem-solving skills, and 50% or more would share that they developed social emotional skills as well as communication skills. You can move on, Christina. Thank you. So for our summer programs this year, we had 11 community-based partnerships across 11 sites. 1,263 students were enrolled, and we had 54% of our students attended at least 75% of the program days. Field trips, several different field trips across various locations. Just listed some information here that was shared from surveys that students continue to build on background knowledge, peer connections. They were able to make new friends. And of course, we wanted our students to enjoy their summer. So we had to build in the fun and just a few of the places that our students were able to visit. As we continue talking about summer, just wanting to share with the board that our community-based organizations, they're listed here, the site, as well as the number of students who are registered, and then the average attendance for each of those enrichment programs. You can move on, Christina. All right. And then this is our student survey information. And as you can see, the survey information tied to the questions here, the number of no's, yeses, the percentage, the total number of surveys given. Of course, during the summer, we do understand it's summertime. And so students, they attend, families may opt that 1 or 2 days they are doing something else after summer enrichment. Excuse me, I said that backwards. They're doing something else after early start, so they may not attend summer enrichment, but we just wanted to share the data that we do have with everyone. But this is from our student survey. Thank you, Christina. And I hope this works. Christina, I think you may have to click that link. I don't think I can. Okay. And
Go ahead and play.
yes. And so this is just few shots that we were able to put together from the various programs that we do the same thing, Mr. Walker. We actually go out to the sites and see what's happening at the sites during the summer and take part. So we do that because we want, of course, our partners to know that we are there with them. And if there's anything we need to troubleshoot, because summer, again, it's summer, things can happen. We just want everyone to feel supported. So thank you, Christina. Oh, we can't hear the music, but that's okay. And if I might add, we do have some students that their families choose to send them to Summer Place, as well as Kingswood Oxford. So that is separate from our early start and summer enrichment programs, but that is also another opportunity for Hartford families to sign up for. And that is open. Families are free to do that. Thank you, Christina. And in looking at the slide deck, I think one of our slides may have been deleted in error with all the other attendance rates. So I can send you an updated deck with that last enrichment program participation, because this is only showing a few of the sites. Excuse me, but I will pause here for any questions.
Thank you, Chief Blacksburg.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, Christina, or Board Member Walker, Ms. Brody, I can't see your hand, so I'm gonna just start off with Mr. Walker. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Chair Scarano. Chief Blacksburg, I think the programming looked great. The data is clear that the students who came had a great experience, but it looked like slightly more than half the folks who registered actually attended regularly over the summer. And so I'm wondering, can we do some reach out to parents, maybe not of just these young people, but just maybe parents in general, to figure out what, if there's something in summer program that would be more enticing to them, or somehow try to understand why so many students registered, but obviously found better activities or something. I don't want to prejudge, but you know what I'm saying? That's it seems like a lot of opportunity was missed because we only half our seats were used all the time.
Chief Blacksburg, floor is all yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Walker. And no, I don't think you are prejudging. But I often try to look at the glasses half full. So not necessarily better opportunities, but maybe families just chose different options. Maybe the opportunity for vacation came up, or they decided that, you know what, instead of you being at school for an entire full day, you can come home after early start. But what you raise, I also think is a great piece to add, that just because a student enrolls for summer enrichment, but then does not show up, it does not stop the provider from having to be on the ground. So the provider still has to be there. The provider still has to work with the students that are there. So they may be contracted for 25, but if only 15 are coming consistently, they are still, doing all that they can to ensure that those 15 are receiving a great summer enrichment experience. So students not coming, I really think it really is a parent choice most of the times. Why students they'll register because mom and dad register them or caregiver registers them. But then after that, it really is on that caregiver to determine what that student is going to be doing.
So thank you,
Thank
Chief
you,
Blackburn.
Mr. Walker.
Yeah, the only follow-up is Chief Blackburn is just wondering if there's some virtue in focus grouping or surveying parents to get any more data on this attendance question.
Madam Chief Blackburn, I was going to call you Madam Chair. Apologies, Chief Blackburn.
And I'm sure that's a question that we can add to a survey. I know folks are probably have somewhat survey fatigue.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
I will talk with others to figure out how we can get that, or even build it into the survey that we do give at the end of the summer to the students. Maybe giving a short one to parents as well, because we do give one to the students. So again, another great point. That's 2 for 2, Mr. Walker, for the day. That's 2 for 2. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation, Mr. Walker, for sure. I'm going to open it up to Ms. Brody now to make sure she has enough time for her questions. Ms. Brody?
Yes. Is the student survey, did we only survey them with 6 questions?
Chief Blackburn?
Ms. Brody, I believe it was only 6 questions, but I will go back and check. I can do that. But I believe it was a very short survey.
If it's not, can we just get the survey in its entirety?
Oh, absolutely. But I believe what Ms. Hooker put together here is all of the questions, because we wanted to keep it short and succinct on purpose for the students. So if it is more than 6, I will update that and give that to Christina, but I believe it was only the 6 questions.
Okay, so most of my questions probably would have come from the slide that is not available to us yet, but can you speak to the process of when a student misses? Like if they're absent, do we have a district-wide policy in place for outreach, for encouragement? Like, what's our process?
Chief Blackburn.
Thank you.
And just to clarify, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chief Blackburn. I just want to get a little bit more clear on your question too, Ms. Brody. So once they're enrolled, and you're saying if they miss the first day, or if they attend the first day of programming and throughout the program and they miss, I just want to get some clarity on that attendance question.
Encompassing all of that, like when is multi-layered. So what's our attendance? Yeah. What's our policy when we're missing a kid, whether it is you never showed up or you just didn't show up Monday, what is our protocol?
Thank you for that clarity. Chief Blackburn.
Thank you. And thank you for the question, Ms. Brody. So I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to tag in one of our partners, because the summer enrichment piece is really the foci of our partners. And so we contract with them to provide the enrichment. Yes, we do have HPS staff, in the buildings on hand. So I know they have their particular protocol framework on how they, excuse my shouting son, one more. Their framework on how they're doing outreach to students that do not show up. During early start, yes, very specifically, the district does follow the same framework. You're going to make, outbound call to families to ensure that they are supposed to be there, that something didn't happen. But I'll go ahead and tag in the village because they run several sites.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. So with regard to how we manage attendance is managed in the same capacity we managed all year. Keep in mind that we work in a community school frame, so we are partners in the ACE teams. We do work with the LEAP program and those strategies. So once, and again, through this contract, we have an MOU with the district, and we do have a scope of services. Within that scope of services, the details that we will do the outreach, and we will contact parents in the event that they're absent. So as the program starts, we do lead up into the actual summer program itself. We're doing calls in general. This is for both the day and afternoon program. We're providing foot supports because, again, even though it's summer, we're still working specifically hand in hand as a community school frame. So we're making calls for both the day, for both the instructional period as well as the enrichment block. And when families are absent, we are doing those pieces. We are doing active enrollments where necessary. We do go out into the community and sort of touch bases with families that we do have contact with. So that itself is still an intensive process. And the summer is a continuation because, again, we're looking at the same teams, the same practices that we've used for every day prior and working with school principals to maintain attendance.
Thank you for that. Ms. Brody?
Thank you. So I guess I'll just end with my concern is the same as Mr. Walker with, the attendance rates, because we pay a lot for summer programming. So I'm really concerned when we don't have participants. But so my last question would be so transportation provided. So is the transportation returning after summer enrichment? And if a family is picking up a child that's not attending summer enrichment, they're just doing that on their own. It wouldn't be our transportation because we would be returning them after the enrichment portion.
Chief Blackburn, I'm assuming you're going to double team with Chief Davis Gooch there. So I'll pass it on to you too.
I am.
I'm here. We actually run 2 routes, one at the midday if the family chooses for the student not to participate in enrichment, and then one after enrichment.
Do we know if is that an additional cost? Because the transportation was very high in my site, right, for our summer programming. So do you know if there's a cost, not asking what that cost is, but just is there a cost for just pick up often?
No,
versus
it's
okay.
It's the bus is by the day.
So regardless.
Right.
It would be okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Brody and Chief Davis Gooch. Thank you for those great questions, Ms. Brody. And I share those same concerns, especially around attendance as well. One of my, not a question, more of an ask as well. I would love to also hear from CBOs. I'm sure, Chief Blackburn, you've touched base and gotten feedback from the CBO. Excuse me, from the CBOs about what went well, what didn't go well during the summer program, and from the CBOs. It would be great to get that survey response from the CBOs as well, to hear what some of their challenges and feedback may have been, what could have gone better, what went well, in addition to the ask and request made by Board Member Walker and Ms. Brody as well around the surveying of the parents. So just want to summarize all of that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just 2 things that I'm trying to figure out what happened to that particular slide, but the number of students enrolled in Early Start and the number of students for summer enrichment are different numbers. So Early Start can have 100 students. Summer enrichment can only have 50 students. So the two numbers are not the same. So there are students that will go home after Early Start, and then there are students that flow into enrichment. I just wanted to make sure that that piece, everybody was grounded on that piece. So if a site says 200, that's not the number of students that are signed up and registered for summer enrichment. And then as far as the glows and rows of summer programming, yes, our partners do share with us. And I know that Ms. Hooker does have that. And we have partners here as well, but we can also share that.
Thank you for that clarity. And yeah, let's go ahead. I know you guys are in the call, and I appreciate you guys being here and answering our questions. It would be great to get that when you send over any additional materials, the survey questions, to include that in the email to Christina. And then I know my colleagues and myself will review that. If we have any additional questions, we will be sure to follow up with you. Well, with Christina, who will follow up with you. And I just want to reiterate again, thank you to all the CBOs, Chief Blackburn, you and your team, and Chief Davis Gooch for all of your hard work over the summer and the start of this school year.
Chair Escribano, this is
Yes.
Former Walker. I just wanted to bring your attention. It appears that Mr. Allen from the village may have his hand up to make a response, and I also wanted to acknowledge.
Noting that.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge too that Chairman Rigger joined the meeting midway through, and you may not have seen him.
Thank you. No, I can't see anybody. So thank you for letting me know. Before I open the floor, Mr. Rigor, do you have any questions? You jumped midway. I don't know if you have any questions or comments.
He's actually no longer on the call.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry.
This is why it's hard to do Zoom calls over the phone. But anyway, my internet's not working. Who was Alan? You said Alan had his hand up?
Yes, Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, the floor is yours.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. So I just wanted to sort of jump in because I too am in agreement with sort of surveying. One of the pieces that we have to always wrap our heads around as service providers is that we are service providers. You don't provide a service that isn't wanted. You don't provide a service that isn't necessary. You do not provide a service that doesn't meet an overall goal, right? Because service for service sake is foolish. Not only that, it's not sustainable. So with that being said, we do like the idea, and I appreciate Ms. Blackburn pointing out that the enrollments are different, as per those that actively engage, because some parents are interested in a full day activity, some parents are not. You have some parents, if it were a full day, they would not come to an early start. You have some programs, some parents that if it is not a full day, they would not come to an early start. So when we're looking at something in the summer program, regardless to how we sort of presented the parent, whether your child really would benefit from this service or any other language, it is not a mandate as it is in the school year. And just as certain as we wrestle with attendance throughout the school year, which is a legal mandate, right, enforceable by law, and we have those variations in attendance, you run into the same piece, especially when it is a voluntary engagement. So as we're looking at these surveys, I want to make sure that we find it, because these answers need to be fought. They need to be wrestled with. We need to figure out how these things work and sort of what drives us, because the ultimate goal is to increase dosage. We want to increase dosage for the students. We want to make sure that they're able to get those academic pieces. We want to make sure they're able to get those social and emotional pieces, as well as get those youth development criteria, right? Those sort of categories into their system. And the more we give them, the better. And asking families questions, direct questions in a very skillful way would get us better answers and hopefully get us better results. So that learning loss, that slide that we experience, looks different. So when students come back, they're not disengaged at all. They feel engaged. from the point they leave school in June to the point where they re-engage in a different format again from the summer in fall. So I look forward to it. I appreciate the thoughtfulness regarding these things. And I look forward to one, being a part of hopefully sort of crafting this piece, and then figuring out how we can all ultimately benefit from it.
I couldn't have said them better myself. Thank you for your thoughtfulness and for all of your hard work and dedication. And again, I couldn't agree more with your statements. And I think I speak for all of us that we're looking forward to working better together and collaborating and figuring out that piece in terms of engagement, what our family and what our students. It's a work in progress. It's not a one size fits all. All of our families and students are different. So I don't know about you guys, but I am excited about the work that's to come and how we can improve those efforts. And that being said, I know we still have some time, but as I said, I have a
Madam
family matter
Chair?
to attend to.
Madam
Yes,
Chair?
I'm gonna give you the floor. I just wanted to just summarize a couple of things as follow-ups, but go right ahead and then I'll end there.
No, I just wanted to come back to two things. Board Member Brody asked about the survey. Yes, the survey was only 6 questions long, and that is the 6 questions that are referenced in the deck. So just
Awesome.
wanted to
Thank you for
make sure that-
following up with that so quickly.
Yeah, I didn't think it was additional. And then lastly, just wanted to, while we're having the conversation, that we heard from families that this was something that they needed, right? The summer enrichment. So this is why we continue to provide it. And we have been grateful that we have ESSER dollars that have afforded us the opportunity to provide this for our families. So just wanted to also share that we were responding to a need. We've done it several ways in Hartford. We've done K3, we've done to K5, we've done different frames of summer enrichment. So just wanted to add those 2 pieces, that this was in response to what families asked for, was a complement to the day program.
Thank you, Chief Blackburn, for that. And again, I think we all agree we're responding to the needs. You guys are responding to the needs. The CBOs are responding to the need. And I think I can speak for Ms. Brody and Mr. Walker when I say we're responding to a need, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and anything that we can do to help push those efforts forward. On board and collaborative approach to achieve that. And I think we're in a good spot. And now we just have to keep moving forward and engaging additional families and improving all of that. So thank you again. I cannot thank you, Chief Blackburn, Ms. Davis-Googe, my colleagues, all the CBOs on the call. Thank you again, and thank you for a great start of the school year. Starting in October, there are going to be a couple of things that are going to be different about the FCE meeting, more to come on that, and I will be sharing that information with my fellow colleagues in the coming weeks. And yeah, so that being said, everyone, please have a great evening, stay cool, have a beautiful weekend, and don't forget, September 12th is the election, so make sure everybody go vote. So I'm done with the meeting. Thank you again, everyone, and take care.
Thank you. Good night.